I am Rafa Benitez. You are watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool taking on Exeter City in the FA Cup third round replay this Wednesday at Anfield.
What time?
Chris Pajak's here, Aubrey Reynolds is here, and we're going to talk about the match. If you know what time the kickoff is, let us know in the comments below. 7:45? 8?
I imagine it's going to be like 8.
Yeah, well,
Let's
all speculate.
One of those weird
Google.
8 games.
Fucking, right, I'm gonna basically level with you right now.
8 o'clock.
Is it? Wow. Get in. There you go. Facts. That is the sum total of the facts we have ahead of this game.
That's not true.
No, is it not?
We know the score from the last game.
What was it?
I don't know.
So yeah, obviously Liverpool fielded the kids last time. Chris, you've just done your start 11 prediction show, which was difficult.
Yeah, I know at the same time. I mean, it was difficult because you made it difficult for me, but actually just putting 11 players on the board, I'm pretty au fait with that. I've been getting good with that. I've not got it right.
The magnetising players to the board.
That definitely helps.
The physical process.
The physical process of putting players on the board is A-okay. Actually getting the team right, nah, I'm not done it
Apart
once.
from Lovren, who's really difficult because he's not particularly magnetic.
Just doesn't like you.
Is that it?
It's fine for me.
Absolute cunt. But yeah, you had a moment prior to filming when you were trying to develop the team because, like you were saying, that'll be 23rd, Klopp, a start and 11 prediction. You've yet to get one spot on. Well, look, I think it's a difficult thing, but it's a
thankless task.
A thankless task exacerbated by the fact that literally any player who's fit and available over the age of like 16 at Liverpool could figure in this game.
It's true, and like I think he'll lead with pretty much the same team. There's a couple of notables there I think that we need to talk about. Stephen Cork, a new signing, I think he's got to get some game time under his belt, probably at centre back as opposed to forward.
Absolutely.
I would imagine anyway. And then, you know, it's like, does Shea Ojo come in for Teixeira, something like that? Does Joe Allen provide a little bit of experience in the centre of the park? I think the goalkeeper's going to change from the last game as well.
I think there's two absolute nailed on changes for that game. Danny Ward's 100% going to come in and play in goal, and Stephen Corker's going to start at centre half.
4.
I don't know that. Yeah,
it's got to be
for not centre half in that team. It's interesting, isn't it? Because the games, I feel physically knackered. I don't know how the players and Klopp are dealing with it because they just come so thick and fast at this period, and it's obviously a product of our success that we are in the semi-final of the Capital One Cup, which adds that extra game to it. But if you cast your mind back so many 3 games ago when we had 13 injuries, that's why we had to field the kids, because ultimately he was protecting those players for the league. There's a little bit of leeway now, isn't he? Because, you know, the fact that injury,
really.
that injury list, their injuries have calmed down. So there are a few, like Joe Allen, you would never have played Joe Allen in the first Exeter game, because he had to play centre mid for us in the league. The fact that Milner and Henderson are back. Ibe was injured. Ibe's come off the bench twice. So does he push himself? And then they're more senior than your Stewart's, your Kent. So I don't know. It's a really difficult one to call. I'd go with the kids again, just because ultimately it's horrible, but I think we can write off the FA Cup. I'd rather.
That's what we talked about on the last build-up show for Exeter, didn't we? I think you posed a question. I know I said I'd sack it off. Like.
Yeah, we're much closer to the Capital One Cup and actually winning it, which is a domestic trophy, and then the Europa League's more important than the FA Cup for me.
I just don't see why they should be mutually exclusive. I think we've come this far. I think the encouraging thing to take from the first leg is that with the team we put out didn't embarrass themselves. They got a very good showing. They've earned the replay here. And you're playing at home with a full crowd, as close as we're going to get in this game, I guess, supporting you. You know, it's up to those players. I think those players should be capable. If you had a good goalkeeper in Ward and a good centre half in place for Enrique, that's actually a much better team as a result.
And I think if you do put Joe Allen in the midfield, you've got a spine there that you can work around, haven't you? You've got Ward, you've got Corker, you've got Allen, you've got Benteke running through the team, and I think that's a good stable starting point to go out and get a victory in this competition. What would be really interesting is, does the likes of Shea Ojo start? Does Sinclair start up top? Those type of things. I think that's the interesting one.
The only reason Sinclair won't start this game, I think, is I think it would be in relation to the off-field stuff. Because look, came in, scored a goal. What more can you ask for from a centre forward? Well, mobility and movement, because otherwise we'd love the shit out of Christian Benteke, wouldn't we? If it was just about goals.
Oof, what was that?
A snap.
Was that your ankle?
That was, yeah.
That's a fucking 6-week injury. That
but yeah, I think that's the only thing that would naturally keep Sinclair out of the side. But I think that it's a big question, and obviously check out the show to see exactly what Chris has gone with. But be interested to know Aubrey's thoughts on this in terms of the players that sit behind, because we like Kent looked lively at the start of the game but didn't really deliver. Ojo looked lively but more effective when he came on in the second half. Teixeira was possibly the best player on the pitch consistently throughout the game. There's only so many of these players you were going to get in. Who comes in? Anyone drop out?
I think he doesn't go 4-4-2 like he did last time. I think he goes more similar to what we've been playing in the first team. So he only plays Benteke as the one. He doesn't play Sinclair. And then he has Teixeira, Ojo. And then for me, it's either Ibe or Kent, and whether he wants to put Ibe in, because Ibe's coming back and he can play the game and he's not worried about losing him, or if he wants to protect him, he plays Kent. If he does go with the two up top, which is going to be obviously Sinclair and Benteke, I think Ojo deserves the chance to start ahead of Kent, because that's not writing Kent off. I actually think Kent are the most promising of that breed. He tried too hard. I think he felt like, this is my chance. Yeah. I'm going to make a name for myself. I've been brought back from Coventry. I'm going to stick this top bin.
No, we've just seen our captain do it at the weekend, so it's understandable, isn't it?
And he's like, he wanted too hard. He was trying too hard, whereas Ojo actually went and did the fundamentals really well. He ran that channel and he got in, and he's responsible for us creating the equaliser, which has got us the replay. And again, Ojo's had a good to decent loan at Wolves. I think it's a chance for Klopp to have a look at both of them, get 90 minutes in there. And I think that's also an opportunity. Like, we are in a transfer window. Everyone's talking about who are we going to buy? Do we need to strengthen? It's another good chance for him to have a look at some of these players where he can go, oh, okay, well this is the loan that this fella deserves. And if those type of clubs aren't coming for us, keep him here, because Kent needs to go to a top Championship club. He shouldn't be in League One. Or he does need to settle down and he needs just to learn it, so we'll send him out to that one, or keep them, or even shop him.
All the noise Klopp's making is that no, we won't be sending them out on loan. He'd rather than be there and be developing with the rest of the players. So it'd be interesting to see, because it actually it leads into a question, is that in that regard, if none of these players are going back out on loan anywhere, are there any players that, again, we had this conversation last week about who can play the way into first team contention, but part of that, but the second part is there anything you put in there to put in the shop window?
In that side there, maybe not, but I think the interest, maybe Christian Benteke actually. No, the interestingly, just to go back before I answer that question, one of the things that I really enjoyed about Ojo's performance was that he's the only player that I've seen this season that's actually brought the best out of Christian Benteke. Yeah. So that I thought was quite an interesting thing. Christian Benteke came alive in that game when Ojo came onto the field for the last 15, 20 minutes.
There's a case to be made that you start Ojo and you maybe put like a Teixeira in behind Benteke, but your Ojo, comes in and from the flank to support or something like that. Like, it'd be interesting. You're right, because I think that's the theory about Benteke. And Benteke looked exciting when Ojo was on, because as I say, there's players buzzing around him. That's how you do it. That's how you meant he's a target man. Look what Arsenal do with Giroud. Yeah. Just get the ball up to him. Doesn't need to go to his head.
Players close.
Get it up to, exactly. They basically had 4 behind them at Anfield, and just players making little runs in beyond, so he can either flick it round the corner or play a little give and go.
Or it can just bounce off him and there's somebody there.
And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that at Anfield, because we shouldn't be fearful of what they're doing in an attacking sense. Because even if you've got Randall or got Maguire or whatever, you know what I mean, and Smith or all these players in that team, that defence is still good enough. Should be good enough. Our first team defence isn't fucking good enough, so it should be fine. Not much worse, is it? You should be able to commit more men to attack and therefore get more men around Benteke. And Ojo, you're right, he's got that ability to go anywhere he wants to. But going back to the question, what I guess I'm kind of leading towards is Joe Allen and Teixeira. So they're both in and around the first team squad. Mm-hmm. Neither of them's a first team regular. Teixeira barely makes the bench. Allen's being linked with a move back to Swansea today as we're filming. Is there a case to be made for getting those players like that involved, just to let people be known what they can actually do?
definitely. And I think you throw two other names onto that list, and someone we haven't talked about, but Enrique comes into that category. Just if someone's going to take a punt, if he plays another game at left back, which is his actual position, which I'd be upset at that because I think Brad Smith deserves it. But ultimately, it's if you're looking at the game to be like, he's a footballer, he's a Premiership footballer or former Premiership footballer because he hasn't played it for a while. He plays left back. He reminds Bournemouth, Norwich, West Brom, whoever would be the clubs who are sniffing around, and maybe even like a Championship team like a Middlesbrough who was spending a little bit of money to get into the Premiership, reminds them that actually he exists, which would be a good start. And then B, he can do something, he can offer something, make $1 million, $2 million, or at least get them off the wage bill. And then Aubrey as well, with the loan of Corker, I think that's pretty much shown that we don't really rate Aubrey. So Aubrey, I think, will play. But then you've got, he is not getting any game time at Villa. They weren't going to buy him. He wasn't getting shown to other clubs. Someone else in world football, because he does have that. He's played on loan in France and in Spain. He's a Portuguese, like under 21 international. Someone else might go, oh, okay, a $2 million bid, a $3 million bid, or another pay a loan and actually pay all his wages again. So I think Alan, Enrique, Aubrey, and you threw Benteke in there, but I don't think Benteke. And then Teixeira are pretty much in the transfer window because decent bids for them, we wouldn't be turning down.
The only thing I would say, maybe a bit of a disagreement, is whether Joe Allen should be moved out now. And I think, as you say, that he is being linked with a move back to Swansea. But if it was my squad, I'd be looking at it and going, well, Henderson's got this injury that we don't really know what's happening with. At the moment, we are playing a lot of three centre-man midfields, which leaves us with Chan, who's been massively overworked for his age. He's played more minutes than anybody in the centre of the park for Liverpool Football Club, and at his age, he shouldn't have to. You got Lucas, who, again, is almost a one-trick pony in that he will only be put in the defensive midfielder role. You got James Milner, who is doing a job further up the field quite often now. Have we got enough numbers to play a three-man midfield?
It'd only be if we were, but it'd be... That's easily changed if there's someone coming in.
No, yeah, you're right.
And again, then you don't want to get into a situation, we need to finance that, because again, the players that we did the minute for last week, plays in the midfield and Xhaka, both are midfielders, they're not going away. Whether we get them or not, whether the summer moves or not, those links are around.
I think what I said on Transfer Daily today about the Allen stuff was, I'll obviously go and check out that show, so I won't paraphrase too much, is that thing of, it might be an opportunity to actually don't start Allen, and continue with Stewart, continue with Brannigan, and say, you've got this game to prove that you're worthy of Joe Allen's space in the squad. And if one of them steps up to it, then you go, okay, we're fine. We're fine to give you more Premier League experience off the back of this.
Yeah, could be a really good shout there, Paul.
Yeah, thanks. Good. Let's just end it there. It's not getting any better than that, is it?
Hey, little fact for you. Did you see a WhatsApp I sent you about Liverpool's being the most overworked side in European football at the moment in the top European leagues?
Let's say yes.
Okay, well, I don't need to tell you then. Okay, so Liverpool for December and January are the most overworked side in all of the top leagues around Europe. Our average rest days in between games are down to 2.9. Right, over December and January. Put it into context, Arsenal's is at 4.3, as is Tottenham's, as is Manchester United. I think Man City's is at 3.6, because they're obviously in the Capital One Cup and stuff like that, but we've obviously had the Europa compared to their fucking whatever it was like. So there, Liverpool are the most overworked club in European football, which makes us the most overworked fan channel in European football.
It does, yeah. Definitely.
There you go. So there you go. If we're looking a little beleaguered, it's just the way it is, isn't it? We power through. I love it. Love this shit. The players should relish this shit. Like, unfortunately, we don't have the kids to drop in.
Exactly.
Yeah, can we sub in?
If one of us drops out for injury, we're just in deep trouble. Deep trouble. A la The Simpsons. There you go. There's a Simpsons record. That was my first ever vinyl record I ever bought, which makes me sound really fucking old.
Was that the follow-up to the
second
Bartman?
to the Bartman? Yeah.
The Bartman on tape, like.
Yeah, the Bartman on tape.
Beast,
there you go.
Get your pencil out.
Just maybe people under the age of 25. It's like, the fuck are you talking about?
What's a pencil?
What's a pencil? Yeah. Yeah, and back in our day, a tablet used to be something you'd take on a night out. So
still is.
Yeah. Before we kind of start to wrap up the show, I want to know which of the players, or it can be multiple players if needs be, you're most excited to see play in this game.
Ojo.
Yeah.
And Smith. I think Smith's really impressed. And I think Moreno's great, so I don't think his position is under threat. I picked him as like my player of the match against United, and as I said then in that final word that I think he's been really good and improved under Klopp. But I think Smith has impressed every time he's come in, considering he was out in the wilderness and he wasn't even in your reckoning when you were thinking, and it was a big shock when he played against Southampton.
Did he have a did we make him a card? We did make him a card.
I think he had a card in the summer.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he was in that list because he went on. Did he go on a tour? If he went on a tour, he had a card made, but I don't think so.
I'd love to know. I'd love someone to do a supercut of how many. At the time, someone asks a question and we don't have the answer to it, we go,
yeah, just go.
It's only 2.9 days in between games. Come on, how much time is there for research?
But Smith's looked great, hasn't he? And what he's actually got, which I think you're talking about getting the best out of Benteke. He's got great delivery. Like his crossing's really good. I remember, I can't even remember who it was, but there was someone on one of the shows.
McManaman. Oh, I thought you were talking about on one of the BT shows or something. No, McManaman was raving about it.
On one of our shows, with Matt Ladson, wasn't it? Who watches a lot.
Steor as well was talking about Smith. I think it was Steor, mate.
Reserve football and under 21 football, and was saying he is fantastic. His best attribute is his crossing. So there's an option there where I know he's working on the bench, but going forward, if we're chasing a game or if we've got Benteke, you throw, instead of just, it seems to be the pattern is Ibe and Benteke, that's our sub.
Yeah.
If Smith could come on at left mid or left back and move Moreno forward, and then you're whipping those crosses in, but he's got to go out there and prove that he's really good. So a few assists from him tomorrow night would be really good.
Great. Chris, one pick two.
I'm going to steer clear of the ones Aubrey's mentioned, although I agree they're the two most exciting ones for slightly different reasons. Corker should come in and own this tie. Yeah. You know, if he's good enough to start in the Premier League for Liverpool, he should. We've seen defenders struggle. I'm thinking Coates, but
Coates has had more mentions in the last 2 weeks on this show than
yeah, he needs to come in and just go, I'm the best centre back on the field. I'm better than all your forwards, blah, blah, blah. And then the other one really is Ward. Yeah. I kind of just want to see what he's all about. Like, I mean, we've not seen enough of him. We've heard so much good things from his loan up at Aberdeen and stuff. So, yeah, Ward, and, you know, as I say, they're not really the most exciting of people. You don't look forward to seeing a goalkeeper and a centre-back normally, but Aubrey's picked the right answers, so. they were the two I was gonna go with, honestly, because I am excited to see Danny Ward. I watched him in the warm-up the other week, not at the Man United in the Arsenal game, and he was just covered head to toe. This is the thing. This is interesting because 2 years ago when I was sat behind the bench, he was always covered in mud. And me and Alex used to say all the time, isn't it great to see a backup keeper just get covered in shit? Like he's just not arsed.
Clearly loves it. Like I don't think I saw him save a shot, which is amazing. Like, but no, I'm excited to see what he is because I don't think he's not going to put genuine pressure on this season, but I just want to see him come in and be solid and see what he's got. And I just put in a fine performance. Done a lot of work with like Toffee TV and stuff, and they keep talking about like Rob Les there. You know, they just want him to come in and get a few games, be solid, and see, so you can start to compare the difference between how you feel watching your side with that guy and go compared to the first choice.
Because again, as a fan, I know he's done really, really, really well at Aberdeen. Can't tell you what type of keeper he is. I don't know whether he's a shot stopper or if he's someone who commands his box. Is he a shouter?
I think he's a shot stopper from the reports that I've read.
Is he someone who comes in? Is he comfortable taking crosses?
He apparently dominates his box.
So that's what I mean. And again, a cup game where they're going to be... I thought they were all right, but they weren't great.
All eyes are going to be on him in this game after how shit Bogdan was last time. And that's... So even though the pressure shouldn't be on against Exeter City and a home tie, it's going to be on him.
It's going to be on more.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm eager to see how he handles that.
Definitely.
Because that's a big test. And if he just comes through with a solid performance and doesn't do anything fucking stupid, then great. You know, good. And box tick, move on to the next round. See how we
Question for you: who's the keeper on the bench, Paul?
That is a very interesting question. Fulton.
Do you reckon it'll be Paul or Bogdan?
Bogdan completely bombed out.
I thought
he was at the weekend, wasn't
he? Yeah. No, it's interesting.
I don't see the point. What's the point? What's the point of having him on the bench? What are you gonna What are you learning from having Bogdan on the bench? All it is just gonna draw. If something were to happen to Ward, puts too much pressure on the whole team. I mean, fair play if he does, but by all accounts, I think I saw last week that we're looking to.
Is Vigouroux still at Swindon?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, I kind of whatever, man. Enrique, just let Enrique, give Enrique the gloves. You know what I mean? That'd be fine by me. Let him do. I'd love to see him do the warm up.
You'd love it, mate. I reckon he'd be a good keeper, actually.
Yeah.
And he's got to be good at something, hasn't he?
Yeah. Table tennis and FIFA, mate.
Oh,
And the Cork, I completely agree with Cork. I just want to see him. I just want to get a clearer idea of what he is, because you can't. All he's had to do is a few headers against Arsenal, which he did very well, and did even touch the ball when he came on against Man United. Basically. So that means just to see get a better measure of him. I want him to look commanding in this game. So yeah, I'm excited. Let us know your thoughts then. Who are you most excited to see? Give us 2 players. If it's the players we've discussed already, I think we've missed your particular attributes that you're looking forward to seeing. If there's anyone we've not talked about at all, again, comments below. Do go and check out Chris's starting 11 prediction show. If you haven't figured out what it's been from what we've discussed so far, go and check. It's actually interesting because it was just messy as fuck. So go and check that. Go and check that out. It's very, very enjoyable. Give this video a thumbs up. Go and subscribe to the Redmen TV. Fuck me. What's it called, Chris?
YouTube channel.
The redmentv.com.
Yeah.
The website.
Oh yeah, that's £2 a month. Yeah. First month's free.
The left one don't get you, then the right one will. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the show. Gents, thank you very much. What?
Score predictions?
I'm not doing it. Score predictions. Thanks, Tom.
4-1 to us.
4-1. I think we'll win by 3, but I think it'll be 3-0 to Liverpool. And we're not going to concede a goal, and therefore not a goal from a corner, even though we have conceded more goals from corners this season than anyone else.
Who's ever played football.
7 so far.
I like both of them scores, but I can't go with them because I'm just being stubborn, so I'll go 2-0 Liverpool. Even though I do agree with both. I like the three goal pushing of it. Yeah, it'd be nice just to like go. If it's going to be your score, I'd like it to go like 1-1, and then us just
batter them.
Stride.
If it's going to be my score, can we pick Christian Benteke breaks the record for the fastest hat-trick ever?
Yeah.
And then
cool.
we all go get soup after the match.
Oh yeah, in fact, I don't want to do a lot of this, but there's a new place on the walk to Anfield called Soup. We had some before mentioned
soup.
Some soup
from soup.
From soup.
That sounds super.
Sweet potato. And you know what? We were sat in the car after waiting for Tom, and I said it was what did I say? It was that soup was soup. I was soup-tastic, and then sat there and went.
Super.
I had the opportunity to say superb there, didn't I? I missed it. Comedy gone, but yeah, you know, there's no reason why we're not getting anybody from it. It was really nice to us, and the soup was really nice. So there you go and check that out if you go on the game. Score predictions, thoughts on the team, etc., etc. Thumbs up, subscribe to the website. I'm going to this one now, Tom. Yeah? No, this one. Only messing this one. So thanks very much for watching the show, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Check us out on the redmentv.com. Subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Ta-ra. I guess it begs the question, and we touched on it a little bit earlier. Was that game all the proof we need to say that we need to go and dip into the attacking transfer market before the window shuts?